Okay, so we got a Great Dane getting stripped down and prepped for paint. It actually has quite the list that the customer wants done to it, which was created in fine print so it doesn't look like as much. You know, when it says California hookups and dump switches for both axles and backup lights all in a section this small, it makes the jobs feel a little bit smaller. But right now, I'm gonna try and get this truck started. We finally got the exhaust all ran for it. It's coming together fairly well. So I'm gonna try and get this thing finished up because I want it out of here today. But before I do that, I actually have to paint another air ride kit. We got one hanging up here drying. Well, it is dry. I painted it last week. I need to put it back together, put it back in the box so it can be shipped to the customer. These are the J. Farrell air ride kits. If you want one, go to ritzlerbuilt.com and order yours. But this one needs to be put back together. I have another one stripped down and ready to paint in my paint booth. It's gonna be painted, I think it's like a gunmetal gray or something. So let's go paint that and get to work on this. I haven't heard this thing run in, it's probably been a month or two. So we're gonna get the fuel lines ran. None of the original fuel lines would work because they're too short for the new tanks. Plus, they're pretty weathered. So we're gonna run new fuel lines, put the fuel back in the tanks and see if it starts. First try. K-Whopper fender fix time. Everybody was flipping out about my short, about this patch job. He had to leave that morning. I fiberglassed it all together so that way it wouldn't fall apart going down the road and be all floppy and end up damaging more. Rattle canned it so it doesn't look awful. From a distance, can't even tell. Now I'm gonna wipe off that rattle can spray paint. We're gonna fill this in the rest of the way and blend it back in. Nobody's ever gonna know. I wish Dad didn't know, but he had to find out the night that I did this. Because I backed into this hood. Thankfully, it was our own truck and trailer that backed into our own truck. The bad part was I was the one driving the truck. Let's get this fixed. Secondly, those comments saying that this ain't gonna hold together, it looks awful, it's all globby and messy and looks like a bunch of stranded mess. Have you guys ever done fiberglass work before? Yes, this might not be perfect, but guess what? It's held together for 3 weeks now. So now I am confident that it will hold and I can put some Bondo over it and some paint, and I'm not gonna have some for stress cracks show up all of a sudden. And no, this is not a stress crack. It's just where some of the fibers are really dry. I put 2 layers of fiberglass on the back side of the fender. I'm probably gonna grind out a couple of these globs and put another layer, maybe 2 layers on the back side here to make sure it's got plenty of strength and we don't have any other problems ever. But it's pretty dang close to where it needs to be as it is. Okay, so I ground it down some to where it's a touch lower than what it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna just use a little bit of long strand kitty hair to build it up a hair bit more. Just a little bit more. This is definitely a lot stronger than just filling it with a half gallon of Bondo. But this will get me where I need to be. To put a couple coats of Bondo over it, a little bit of filler, whatever. Do some filler primer to fill in all my deep gouges and scratches. And I don't see no reason why this thing won't be painted tonight and blended in. So while we let that cure, let's go walk around and see some of my other projects that's going on, because this is all being done after hours due to the fact that I was the one that did this problem, made this problem. So let's go talk about what else is going on. Got the Great Dane pretty much stripped down as far as we need to. Got the doors off, they're gonna be sanded out. I see there's a light up there, so I shouldn't say all the lights are taken off, because I see a lights up there and a lights down here, but I'm not painting this corner anyway, so that's fine. Bottom rail is completely stripped clean and ready for prep. Top rail is also all stripped down and ready to prep. On the back here, there's really not much that I'm going to be doing as of right now. I mean, we already took the bar off that goes across the top there that hold the lights in, because we're going to add lights to it, but we're not painting that. We're not painting anything down here other than I'm going to make a light bar that goes in there, which does mean I'm going to have to cut this step out, but that's okay. Nobody needs to step on that anyways. And then there's a lot that's going to be going on the other underside. He wants the landing gear, the bogie, fuel tank straps, all that stuff painted to match the rails. Not sure if I'm going to get to it this round, but we're going to try. This little truck here had the fender liner falling out, so I just re-glued it back in, and we did a service on this and changed some slack adjusters on the brakes. Nothing too major. This trailer is getting new brake lining, tires, S-cams, bushings, a bunch of random little stuff being done to it. This also has like a scratch. I don't know if you guys remember, this is the trailer I painted not too long ago. I don't know what he hit, but he's got this scratch. Thankfully, it's only in the clear coat. It runs all the way to the back. We have this cute little red truck. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but the frame, cab, body, everything's going to be repainted the factory red. And we're going to be adding a bunch of little things to this. And it's the original 2000s paint. So this thing was built in 2000 exactly. Too bad it's not 99, but whatever. Anyways, it's pretty sun blistered, so that's going to be fun to fix up. But the thing is super straight. All right, we're gonna let that dry for a good 15 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna put probably 1 or 2 more coats of this filler primer on, and then I'm gonna have to let this cure overnight. I was hoping to get this done tonight, but it's already like 9:30 and I need to get home, so I'm gonna give this a few minutes, let it cure up a little bit, put a couple more coats on. It'll be ready for me to finish in the morning. So I will see you tomorrow when it's time to sand this out. So a quick explanation before we go into a fast motion time lapse. I'm just gonna sand down these little spots that I filled in. There was a couple little indentions. So I filled those in first thing this morning. And now I'm gonna sand those out and blend in some white paint. Zach putting in the work, fixing some lights. He has no clue what he's doing. And there we go. I'm gonna have to let it cure a little bit longer to stay kind of tacky, but I'm gonna have to just buff it a little bit to get this feathered edge, you know, blended in a little bit better. But came out really nice, I think. And now we have our big bunk Peterbilt in here where the Kenworth just was. I'm getting ready to put the stand-up headliner kit in. I already showed, I think, 2 videos of me installing them, so I'm just gonna skip the install process. I'm gonna get it in there and show you guys my first ever stand-up headliner kit. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. I already put it all together. I only test fit it once, and I made some changes to it to make it fit better. So hopefully this goes smooth because I completely finished it out all the way down to factory wire harness plugs and everything. So let me get this thing thrown up in there and show you guys how it looks. It got kind of late last night, so I finished it up this morning with Arlen's help. Oh my gosh, let me get copy written straight. Okay. Anyways, there it is. I think it turned out really nice. It follows the seam or the headliner really nice. I mean, it's clean all the way around. The only thing I think I'll do different if somebody went with speakers is I think I'm gonna move this speaker here over about inch and a half because I feel like it gets a little cluttered over here. But other than that, I think it turned out really nice. Let me know what you guys think. The paint matched his CB bracket. It's a little dirty. I gotta wipe it off. We got our fingerprints all over it, but... And I put this switch up there, which I think on the next one, I'm gonna go right where the train horn pull valve string used to come down through. I don't know. We'll see. Like and subscribe, I guess. Hey guys, it's Josh Paints here. Now, one of my many things that I do around the shop and around the property is I also patrol the parking lot, also known as the Peterbilt PP. And I have a case that happens all the time in our parking lot, and as head PP, we need to go take care of this. Come check this out. Sorry about the noise, by the way. There's actually somebody getting some work done around here, but this is a serious matter. I have my training PP along with me right now. He's videoing. Okay. Let's go check this out. Before we even get out here, I can already tell you that this is a very dangerous situation. This is a case where nobody wants to back up to the fence where they're supposed to stop because they want their long-nosed Peter sticking out further than the other guy. And what we have right now is 2 of our biggest hotshots, known as my dad and my uncle, and they like to park the furthest out, which is counterintuitive to what I'm doing as a PP. This is 100% against everything I believe in, because when I grew up, my dad always said, park in the back of the lot, try and hide. You don't want somebody ripping your hood off, or some late night crew idiot that paints also to come in and back into your Kenworth with your own truck and tear the hood off. That's what I'm trying not to have happen here in the Peterbilt parking lot. For starters, this is not even, I'm not even gonna tolerate that. Bring it up in here, bring it up in here.
What are we looking at?
We got an official rolling of 59 inches.
Almost 5 feet. Oh, it's getting tight.
27-inch unacceptable. This is unacceptable. That's not even the worst. Thank you, training PP. I'm out of tape. Hold on. We're at 20 feet at that rock.
That rock. That rock.
This is where the back tire should be. So we're 27 feet short of the mark. That's pretty impressive. For all you non-Americans that watch me. That's a lot of meters, isn't it?
Oh,
And then this. I don't even know what to call this. As head PP, I'm at a loss for words right now. This is a citational offense, and I'm very upset about it. What we're gonna do is, we could leave a note or something. It's probably gonna get overlooked like all my notes do from the drivers. I believe that me and my trainee are gonna take at least one snack cake and or drink out of their mini fridge. This is not tolerated and it is unacceptable behavior. That's all I got to say.
You mean we're not slashing their tires?
So the other day I was on TikTok and I saw a painter complaining about painting. It was like an old Cadillac. It was like 12 foot long, and they were complaining about the walk, about, you know, painting pearl colors and needing to go from front to back, back to front, whatever, and trying to make it all blend together, because you can't just, you know, do a section at a time, otherwise you'd end up with different colors. So I thought I'd show you guys my walk. Well, there's about 53 feet. First coat of blue is on. I'm gonna walk around, catch you guys up on what else is happening in the shop while I'm waiting for this to flash, to put the next couple coats on, and then a couple coats of clear coat and make it look really good. So this is how far we gotten this week on this truck. It is pretty much ready to sandblast. We gotta cover a couple more things, take a few more things off, but it is very close to being ready for sandblasting. We're gonna sandblast it, then we'll fix some of the minor things on the frame, and then I guess put some paint on it. We already started working on the hood. It had a couple minor damages, nothing too big. We fixed all of those. The biggest thing is on the front side here, right there. On these 379s, they almost always crowed out right where the brace goes across the front of the fender. So we went ahead and changed that fender, put another aluminum one on. Yeah, so that is ready to be sanded out and also painted. Got all the extra holes on this side ready to go for adding lights. Normally I would drill those before we paint it, but I didn't realize we were adding lights until after I paint it. So we got all the holes drilled on this side, and on this side, we already got them installed. We were working on wire harness the other day and we just didn't get it fully finished. We're gonna wrap that up next week and also paint the top rail next week. We are working on the channels for up top and a new wire harness for up top too. We'll take a ride up on the lift and show you guys, because a lot of people always ask us how we make the top of our 389, not our 389s. Our trailers look like a smooth rail, which isn't a new thing. A lot of people have been doing it, but basically this is how right here. Get it? Okay. Apparently the lift needs charged because it is not wanting to go up. So there you go, there's our channels. Lights are gonna be done up top. We gotta run all the wire harness and fasten all the channels before we can paint. So we're gonna do that Monday morning. I'll get the top of the rail painted and get it pulled out of the paint booth so I can paint the reefer doors and then the hood next. And by the time I'm done with all that, hopefully the guys will have the frame ready for me to pull in and paint that. So next week I got a lot of painting and a lot of cool stuff happening. So if you wanna see that, you're definitely gonna have to subscribe. Or just come back in about 2-3 weeks when I finally get another video posted. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Yeah. I think that's about it.